Lori, thanks very much. I'm with Senator Chuck Grassley, Republican of Iowa, the ranking Republican on the Senate Finance Committee. Senator Grassley, thank you for the time. And
Peter, glad to be with you.
We of course, read with great interest the Senate report from the Finance Committee, the staff report that came out. Does this report, in your view, does it call for the removal of Avandia from pharmacy shelves?
Well, I believe so, but if it doesn't cause for the removal, it surely says that both FDA and the company ought to be more transparent with the public and tell the public the facts. You know, this tends to be the same old story that we get between pharmaceutical companies of different companies and the FDA. You know, we have studies within the company that shows that there's some danger involved. You got questions being raised in the FDA about dangers being involved. The public ought to know about it. If the drug needs to come off the market, that's FDA's decision, not mine, but it seems to me like this is very dangerous when you talk about deaths coming from heart failure because of Avandia.
Do you think, based on what your staff has been able to uncover in the course of this investigation, that Glaxo was truthful with the FDA, with the public?
I think there's all kinds of questions to be raised that it was not truthful. I think it's very clear that they knew things that they did not tell the public at large. FDA knew things that they did not let the public know. And what's the FDA all about? It's all about effectiveness and safety ought to be number one. If people's lives are in danger, they ought to at least know about it. And then you also have this usual problem that comes up in FDA. You know, you've got one branch of FDA saying that a drug is safe and can go on the market. Then you've got another post-marketing surveillance where people find out after hundreds of thousands of people, as opposed to tens of thousands of people actually testing a drug, that what was found by the Office of New Drugs may not really be a fact, and caution
and you're
raised.
Calling, sir, for those two offices to be separated here?
For a long period of time, and this is just ample evidence, and we're backed up by the Institute of Medicine saying that there ought to be total separation and total independence of the Department of post-surveillance.
Do you think this report, the situation with Avandia, could provide the impetus here in Capitol Hill to make that change, to force that change at the FDA?
You know what? I thought I had enough evidence prior to this to force that change. This just adds, more to the topping on the cake.
I know that you've asked the FDA commissioner to respond to some of your questions right now by March 4th again. What is it you're hoping to learn from them?
I'm hoping to learn from them that they're going to take their job more seriously, and when there's questions raised about people dying from taking a drug, that they're going to take it more seriously than they have in the past and put safety first and not worry about the pharmaceutical companies first.
Let me ask you, if I could, another healthcare story. We've got the president today unveiling on his website a new White House plan to deal with the healthcare issue. First of all, what do you make of that plan at first blush? Is this the beginnings of a compromise?
Well, who knows? First of all, it's kind of good news when the president says he'd like to work in a bipartisan manner and listen to Republicans after they went in a totally partisan way just before Christmas to pass a bill. There's ideas out there, but there tends to be a conflict between stating on the one hand that you want bipartisanship and then put out your own partisan approach, and then you want to sit down and talk to us. It just leaves a lot of questions in my mind.
So this doesn't pass your test?
Well, the process doesn't pass my test. The attitude of sitting down and talking of what can be done and listening to good ideas like medical malpractice reform, selling insurance across state lines, not having rationing, having bigger pools for small business. Those are all very important ideas. Those are ideas that aren't in these pieces of legislation. We need in them.
All right, Senator Charles Grassley, member of the Finance Committee. He'll be part of the bipartisan talks of the White House on Thursday on health care. Send it back to you in New York.